cried out to the Lord of Israel on Israel's behalf, and the Lord answered him. While Samuel was sacrificing the burnt offering, the Philistines drew near to engage Israel in battle. But that day the Lord thundered with loud thunder against the Philistines and threw them into such a panic that they were routed before the Israelites. The men of Israel rushed out of Mizpah and pursued the Philistines, slaughtering them along the way to a point below Bethkar. Then Samuel took a stone and set it up between Mizpah and Shen. He named it Ebenezer, saying, "Thus far as the Lord has helped us." So the Philistines were subdued and did not invade Israelite territory again. May the Lord add his blessing and reading of his word. You know, it was a time of revival once again in Israel. And as Israel was coming to that spot, their nation and their religious life had slipped low. As we look at this passage, there is evidence that the people changed, but it changed the wrong way. Their religious belief and practice was all to idols. And as Walter Kaiser Jr. writes in Rodman Holman, he says this: "There is no record or no recorded evidence to change on the part of people according to the spiritual tide had been running out for decades, even centuries, when God graciously raised up Samuel." What he was saying here is, even when Samuel was being the prophet, the priest, and as he was leading the people were not listening. Because if we look back at Eli's life, Eli failed miserably. His sons were sinning against God, against the nation, and they both died. When they both died in a battle, and someone told Eli that they were dead, he fell over backwards and broke his neck. But one of the things that Eli knew very well, that God said to him, because of your home and the way it is, none of your men will live to be old. And if we go back into the records, none of Eli's family members lived to be old. But the sad part is, even Samuel's son, and that's coming up in the next chapter, we see what Samuel's sons did. It was revival in Israel again. They were crying out. They wanted God to intercede. And as Samuel came before him, he said, you need to be very careful of what you're asking for. And as he continued to cry out, they were afraid. But they were crying out more about the Ark of the Covenant not being where it should be. Matter of fact, it took them 20 years from the time the Ark of the Covenant was captured to realize that they needed the Ark of the Covenant. But they treated, as I mentioned last week, they treated the Ark of the Covenant as a good luck charm. A lot of people today treat God as a good luck charm. The only time they want God around is when things are not going their direction or their way. It's pretty much like sometimes we treat God like Santa Claus. You go to him with the wish list. Israel was doing the same thing. But Samuel said, there are three